there's a well at the bottom which gave the place its name, the well underground city. And the like I told you in the morning, the Christian people, they mostly lived under the ground before the 6th century, because the Roman Empire, they occasionally invaded their lands, attacked their lands. So these people who lived under the ground, they had villages, they had towns outside, but in the war times they escaped and entered the underground city and lived here for a couple months. There are over 100 underground cities, and they are rumored to be interlinked under the ground, because there was a tunnel found between here and the Kaymaklı underground city, which is like 10 kilometers away from here. There was found a tunnel that is connecting, like a link in between them, interlinked under the ground. So all of this, actually the reason why they call just to find themselves a shelter and practice their religion in secret, and that's why they built churches. I mean, they not only church, but they also built like kitchens, stables, wineries, graveyards, living rooms. All of those we are going to examine, like observe closely when we get there. So this place goes down 7 floors, and we will visit all of the 7 floors. And it is approximately 55 meters down under the ground.
Okay.
And this is the ventilation shaft. This is the biggest ventilation shaft. So there are 3 ventilation shafts for fresh air, but this is the biggest one. And we will see this. Take a closer look at this at the 3rd floor, also the 7th floor. When we get there, you will see some holes on the inner walls of the tunnel. This crack. Because they used it as an emergency exit as well, because those holes work just like a stair, okay, and emergency exit or entrance as well. So now we will jump in one by one, and we will go.
Of course.
So this was the only source of ventilation. These
there are 3 ventilation shafts, but this one is the biggest one. And they used it as a entrance and emergency exit as well. And if you take a closer look, on the both sides there are half holes, like round, and there is also half hole there as well. So if they just close it, these 2 stones, there will be a single hole for the fresh air. So and I mean, you wouldn't notice if there was an underground city if you look from above back then, because these places were supposed to be hidden. They covered the open parts with leaf and stone as well, because they didn't want to reveal themselves. Because this was like a shelter. So approximately 6,000 people live here. So 6,000 people, that is quite a lot. Like that is very much when you consider the 3 months. That's a very long time as well. Like 3 months, 6,000 people under the ground. So you're gonna need a lot of like living rooms, food storage,
and also
fresh
how do
water.
they like get supply from? Do they do farming or stuff? Like where's their food supply?
Mostly the food supply was mostly the animals.
Okay.
And they store the meat and the plants inside the jars, and they just put the jars inside the walls, and there are food storages. Because under the ground it's always like 13-14 degrees hot, so it's like almost every time chilly, and it doesn't get affected from the outside weather because it's underground. So that's why it works like a natural refrigerator. They keep their food fresh that way. So they mostly store it just like a preparation for the war times. Like I told you, they had villages, they had towns outside, but they occasionally stored food inside the underground city just in case there was an attack from the Roman Empire. Because Roman Empire, they attacked this place too many times before the 6th century. During the 1st and the 6th century, they mostly lived under the grounds. But you might be wondering, I mean, there was no technology, there was no engine, no tool. How long it took for them to build all of this? There is no exact time period. I can't tell you that they started that date and finished that date, but according to science, they're guessing that it took almost 300 years. Because they continued to dig more while they are staying there. It's not like a short-term process. It was a continuous process.
Yeah.
And we will see, you will notice the change in architect, the change in system, the further we go down.
Okay.
Because in the 7th floor is the newest one, like newest.
So they build like underneath instead of expanding
Yes,
in that
expanding
way.
while
Okay.
they're staying there. So like let's say the first floor is just like a normal cave, like very, I mean,
Traditional, very old.
very old. And the further we go down, let's say in the 7th floor, there will be columns, like supporting columns. There will be rooms like in order, like a systematic rooms. Like we will observe it, the time change, like when it comes to like architecture, the engineering, the system. It's an amazing place. And there will be arrows on the walls, like red ones and the blue ones. Don't follow the red ones. They go to hell. Okay? Only follow me. I will take you.
Back in time where there's no lights, how do they keep it visible?
They used to use oil, their torches and candles.
Yeah.
So that way they light up the place. And we see oil.
Okay. Yeah, but if there's only 3 holes for fresh air.
No, that's what I was wondering. Only 3 holes. But it is still cold without
It's
even the holes.
The ventilation system here is quite good. You can always feel the fresh air.
Yeah.
Because there are holes in the grounds, like in the halls for the ventilation, for the fresh air to cycle through all around city. And every floor has a connection to the ventilation shaft. So that's why, you know, it's very airy here. It's very fresh air here.
Yeah.
So we are now at the entrance of the underground city of Derinkuyu. Right here, this room here is the kitchen. And the next room is the stable, the stall where they kept the animals, but we will see that on our way out at the exit. So the entrances in the Cappadocia, in the ancient cities or even underground cities just like this one, the entrances were mostly kept as stable.
Okay.
Because that way it was easier to move in and move out the animals.
Yeah.
So how do you know that this is the kitchen? Because right here there's a chimney. There's a chimney for the smoke to go through, and you see the darkness on the walls right here. That is caused by the fire because this is like an oven right here, like a natural stone oven, and there are holes on the ground. Every floor has a hole in the ground just like this one. So any idea what this is for? The holes on the ground? Any idea what these holes are? The holes on the ground? There are water. No, because there's only one well. This is for the communication through floors. So imagine you are the unluckiest person on earth who lives in the 7th floor of the underground city. So someone has to inform the others from the first floor. So like, remember this is like a shelter, yeah? So someone, let's say, from the first floor shouts, enemy is coming, enemy is gone, enemy has entered the underground city. And the 2nd floor hears, and through the 2nd floor, the 3rd floor, 4th floor, it goes down like this. So this is for the communication, also for the fresh air to cycle through all around the underground city. Right?
Okay.
Stone door is actually right here.
Oh, this is the one. Stone door.
Ah, okay.
And this is like it's closed. Now they have like sealed it with the cement. क्या जेल? अरे वहाँ पे ही था। डोर से लॉक लगा के रखा था। ये टनल सीधा 7th फ्लोर पे जाता है। अभी हम लोग 3rd फ्लोर पे,
राइट लेफ्ट इधर।
3rd फ्लोर से सीधा हम 7th फ्लोर पे पहुंचेंगे। वन साइड टनल है ये, सीधा सीधा नीचे जाएगा।
इधर की बन बटली से क्या?
Please come closer this way.
You're on 3rd or 4th?
7th
7th? Sorry? We are in the 7th floor.
7th.
We bypass the other floors because the other floors, they don't have an entrance. Right? The left part and the head part, the abscess.
Okay.
So this is where they practice their religion, the Christianity. So you see, the whole motivation behind all of this was actually their faith, their belief in their gods, right? This is the main source of fresh water for the people who live here under the ground. So this is the main source, right, for the water. But let me tell you, the first thing they do before building an underground city, the first thing they do, they explore around to find a well, and then they build the underground city alongside the well. It's not like they start to dig and hoping to find a well. They first find the well and design the underground city around the well. And the second thing they do after the well, they build ventilation shafts, and then they build the rooms, the kitchens, the stables along the ventilation shaft. Because first, I mean, there has to be two of these things, right? There has to be fresh water, fresh air. You can do without food for a couple days, but you can't go without water or fresh air. Without them you can go like more than 2 days, right? Right. If you go that door, you can see the bottom of the ventilation shaft. You can get inside and take a real closer look at the ventilation shaft, and you will also see the surface, the sky from here.
Oh,
Yeah.
The one which we saw in the
Yeah.
top.
Yes, that one.
are there any more? Yeah, let's go.
Thank you. I was wondering what is their body size? Like, is it also easy for them back at the time, or they also need to do this?
ये वेंटिलेशन शाफ्ट है जो ऊपर हमने देखा था ना ग्राउंड में, इसका नीचे से पूरा
Can you see the sky?
I mean you can see the light.
Oh yeah, you can. You can see
There's light.
आदमी लोग ने बॉटल टूटे डाल के। ओह।
like illnesses.
ये है कब्रिस्तान, मतलब ग्रेव। ए भाई लाइट करो।
लोग लाइट लगा दो मैं लगा रहा हूँ।
मैं लगा रहा हूँ, चाबी मेरे हाथ में है। यहाँ पे क्रिश्चियनिटी में नॉर्मली दफना देते हैं, बट यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट नहीं दफनाते थे। यहाँ पे पहले जलाते थे और फिर दफनाते थे, क्योंकि क्लोज्ड एरिया है ना, तो बीमारी फैलने के चांसेस थे। ये क्या है रे? अच्छा ये एग्जिट है, चिकीस है।